Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to look at PHP image upload. Image uploads are a common feature in web applications, and PHP makes it easy to implement this functionality on your website. Okay, so you're going to see in most cases file handling or image upload is somehow different from the previous form submission. By the way, if you have not watched that PHP form submission, please check in the description. I will leave a link to a tutorial for PHP form submission. Okay, so handling an image upload is somehow quite different from all other input types that we looked at, like text area and other inputs. So I had to make a different tutorial purposely for this PHP image upload so that you understand very well how it works. Okay, so in this video we are going to look at how we are going to do image upload, including checking file sizes, types, creating folder that store the uploaded images, moving the uploaded file to the target directory, and so many other things. So what I did, I broken down the procedure in a step-by-step so that you can understand properly how to implement this in your own project. Now, this will not be the final one about this. In future, we are going to see how to do image upload, a complete one with MySQL, okay, where you insert it in the MySQL database. But for now, we are going to see actually how you store it, and you get the image path that the one you would store in the one that you would store in the database. So right now we are just going to use it to display the image on the UI, but really the code will remain the same. What will only change is that instead we'll get that image path and we save it into the database. So let's jump into it and see how we can do a PHP image upload. So step number one is working on the form. Okay, so we all know it starts with the form. Whether you're going to do any backend, it starts with the form. Okay, so we're going to look at form submission with PHP with the image upload. How does that form look like? Okay, so the first thing is the form should have we are going to set it to the current PHP file just to make sure we submit in the same file. Okay, that one I get you are familiar with. And then the method we are going to set it to post, that one also you are familiar with. And then the new one is setting enc type. Okay, so there is one more attribute called enc type, and is set to mark path from data to allow file uploads. So for any file uploads, apart from even images, whether it is going to be PDF or anything, you use enc type so that you allow the form to allow uploading images. Okay, so another thing is that we use an input element of type file. Okay, we have been using inputs of different things like text, input telephone number, input search, and so many other inputs. But for the image or for the file, we use input type file. Okay, so the form would look something like this. So if you notice in the form, let me try to zoom in this form. So the first thing you see is action. Okay, and this action we set it to PHP server PHP self. This means that it's going to submit the form is going to be submitted in the same file. Okay, and then the second one is the method here. So we set the method to post. Okay, so set your method to post, and we talked about post and get. I'm not going to repeat about it. If you have not watched that video, just watch the video about form submission. You will see how I explained post and get. Okay, now the new attribute is this enc type. So you must put enc type and you must set its value to marked path form data. So this one allows us to allow images to be uploaded to the server. Okay, so just make sure you set the enc type, and then another thing is the input here, we set it to type file. Okay, and then the name here is going to be image. Okay, this is also very important to know the name that you have used here. Okay, so in this case we are using the name. Okay, finally we have input type submit, and we give it value upload. Okay, good. So now let's just implement this thing here right now. So let me escape and let me go to my folder. So those ones who have been familiar with what I've been doing, I'm just going to go to desktop here, and I go to my htdocs PHP YouTube series. I've already created here lesson 8, which is loops. Lesson 9, which is image uploads. Okay, so and I've opened this folder in VS Code. You can see here lesson 9, which is image upload, and I created a file called index.php. So let's start with creating our form. I'm just going to initialize here a document here, and I can write my form here. Okay, so the first thing we said, the action, we can set the action to, we can send the action to, let me first write here a PHP script. Okay, and here we can just set this one echo, and we can echo here dollar server, and here we say PHP self. So this one is going to help us submit. This one is going to help us submit in the same in this very file index.php, and then we put all other attributes. The second one is method. Okay, so method, we are going to make it post, and then last one is enc type. Okay, so enc type, we are going to set it to marked path. So just say marked path form data. Okay, so we are saving it to marked path form data so that we allow file upload. Okay, so then inside the form we are going to have only one input, in fact two, one for the input. You can just say input file. Okay, just like that. Input file. Okay, the why I wrote input input file. Okay, so the name, we are giving it the name of image. Okay, and that's the only thing we need. The input file, they don't have placeholders, so don't put a placeholder, please. Just simply give it a type and then the name, and last is the input submit. So just say here input, and it's going to say input submit, and the value is going to be upload. Okay, so now if we check this, so we can go to localhost. Okay, not 300, just localhost, and PHP YouTube series lesson 9. Okay, so we have our form. Clearly it is here. So we have our form. Now the good thing with this file here, when you specify input file, it actually allows a user to browse. When someone clicks, it is able to click on something. You can see it clicks and uploads an image. Okay, when you click on the file. So that is the good thing with this input type file. Okay, so the next step here is check the file upload and the upload error. So we start by receiving the submission. Okay, we can start by receiving the submission. Check if the file has been uploaded and if there is no error. Okay, so if there is no error, then we can go further. If there are errors, we can save it to the user. So on top here, I'm just going to receive the PHP file here. So on top, I'm just going to first write here PHP like so, and then down here I close the PHP. Okay, so the first thing is we are checking for the upload. So you might be asking, how do we check for the if the file has been uploaded? Of course, if you wanted, you would first go and check for the method. Okay, for the method that has been used to send the data, and you could first say if it's set $post, and you go ahead and check that. But we can, since we only have one form and it is just this one, I'm just going to start by checking if the file has been uploaded, and we check it using these files. Now we have been checking all other inputs, and we have been getting them from, okay, we have been getting all our inputs. So let me just demonstrate. If we had here input type text, okay, remember, if we used to have input, okay, if you had input text like so, you have maybe here name, and you had username, okay. So we used to get these files, we used to get them. If you want to see that, you would get that one from, so you could just say dollar, okay, username would be equal to dollar post, okay, dollar post, and then here you could say username. So you can see we are accessing all these files from this post array. Okay, this dollar post here, if you check this dollar post, is an associative array. Okay, this is an associative array. So if you came here and we could just say print r, okay, so we could just say print r dollar post, okay. So if you did that and you print out, you will see that there are some keys. If I try to upload here, okay, warning, and you can see an undefined key username. Let's first check something here down a minute. Type name, username. Okay, so you can see right now they are telling us that the array is empty. That's why we are able to have this one. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that this file upload, this type file, is not located on $post. Okay, is not located on the $post. It is located on now $files. Okay, so now we have this new you can have this new one, which is called $files. Okay, so this $files is another one. If we try to do that, let's try to print out that. Let me try to submit here. Let me just first of all refresh. Okay, and let's remove this input so that we focus on ourselves on the file upload. Okay, let me just refresh again. Okay, so now we have this one. Let me just try to select an image just like that and upload. So you see we have, okay, so you can see we have this. Let me first activate my PHP view. Let me first activate my PHP view so that we can see PHP view. Okay, let me put on this PHP view. So if you don't have this one, is help you just view the print r outputs. You can see here validate and view PHP print r outputs. That's what it does. So if I refresh now, okay, So you can see now this we have this file, and you can see it has here a lot of things. For instance, and this is, by the way, this thing here we have printed are dollar files. So this is an associative array containing all the things, or the information that we have on these files that have been uploaded. For instance, you can see we have under image, okay, so it has one of the items in that array is this image, okay. So on the image it has name, it can give you the name, it has the full path, it has the type, temporary name, it has the error and the size, okay. So now we can first check for some things, okay. We can check for some things. First of all, we can check if the file has been uploaded, okay. So to take you back, this is the code here, okay. Let me just try to zoom in, okay. Let me zoom in here. So we first check if has been set files image. We are trying to check if this, okay, if this item exists, that means that the image has been uploaded. If files has this image and you saw that it has that the first item in its associative array is this image, it is there, and if it is there, we also go ahead and check if the error is equal to 0, okay. If you check that, if I'm to take you back to the browser, in a minute you saw it here. So in that if I'm to check here, let me just write on the screen so that you can understand properly what I'm talking about, okay. So you can see that this is the dollar files array. It contains this key here, it contains this key here. So the key image has all these things here, okay. So let me just grab something here. So you can see that we had let me just grab the text first, and let me change maybe the color to black. If you remember, we had if, okay. So we had the if, and in the bracket we had dollar, okay, files, okay. And then you see we are asking if it has actually this the image. So this image you are trying to access here, it is this image you are seeing here. This is the key we are trying to access in this one. So if this key exists, it means that for sure we have the image uploaded, and then we can go ahead, okay. So if this one is passed, we can go ahead and do something like and, okay, and we can check for image, okay. We can check for dollar files, okay. Then we check for the image, okay, if it is there, and then we go inside this image. Now this image is an array, as you can see, is an associative array which has keys name, full path, and one of the keys is error. So we can go ahead and we access the error, okay. We can go ahead and access the error, and we check if this error is equal to 0, which you can see here. That means that the image was successfully uploaded, okay. So that is the first step that we do. So I'm just going to go back here and execute that one, okay. So I'm just going first to do the first if, okay. If is set, okay. If is set. So I'm just going to first ask if is set dollar, okay. I'm just going to say dollar files image, okay. So I'm just going to check if this is not empty. okay, if this has some values in it, I know the image has been uploaded. Okay, and then apart from that, then I will go ahead and also check. Okay, I will also check for the dollar files, dollar files, and here we'll just check for the image. Okay, and on the image I want to check the error. Okay, I want to check the error if the error is equal to 0. Okay, so if there are no errors, then we can now go ahead. Okay, so that is the first step, or that is the second step. If you set files image, this one checks if the image for sure is there in what you have uploaded, and if it's there, then we check if there are no errors while in this image. So you can see we check for the error here, and then inside here we can start working on the image. Okay, so that step has been done. So next step is checking the upload folder if it exists. Okay, so we want to upload the image, and then we save it in the uploads folder, and then from that uploads folder, then we'll get the image from there when we are rendering it on the UI. Okay, so we have to check if the uploads folder exists, and if it doesn't exist, then the code will create. We can create the folder. Okay, if it doesn't exist, then we create the folder. Okay, so if right now you go to our lesson 9 image upload, you see in this folder there is no uploads folder. Okay, so we can first check for that, so that we are very sure the upload folder exists. If it doesn't, then we create one. Okay, so how do we do that? So we use this method called file exists. Okay, there is this method which checks if the file exists, it brings true or false. Okay, now we can do a small check. Okay, so we just put here check. So we can check if the uploads, want to call it uploads folder, if the upload folder exists. Okay, we check if the uploads folder exists. This is the folder where we want our images to be stored after they have been uploaded. Okay, so we can just do an if. So first of all, we can just use this method called file exists. So we could just say file exists. Okay, so this one takes in the name of the file that should be exists, which is uploads. As simple as that. Okay, but then we are checking if it doesn't exist. Okay, so we just say if not. Okay, so this, remember, file exists uploads will bring true or false. So here we are saying if it doesn't exist, then we can create it. So we use now another function which says make directory, and we can just say make a directory called uploads. Okay, uploads, as simple as that. Okay, so here we check if the file uploads does not exist, we create a new one, and in this case you can see here that we don't have it, so it will create it at this point. Okay, great. After doing that, let's move on to the next step. So the next step is generating a unique file name. Okay, so you can imagine a scenario whereby you have uploaded the name, the image called JB. It has a file name called JB. So if for the first time when you save that image in the uploads folder, and you try, you know very well how the file works. If it has the same file name, it will replace the existing file name, and we don't want that one. Okay, We don't want the images we are uploading. If someone uploaded an image with the same file name, we don't want the previous image to be replaced. Okay, we simply want to create a new image with a unique name. So what happens is that when you're uploading an image, it has its own file name. Okay, so in this case, so if I wanted to go here to back to the browser, and I'm just going to put off this extension again. Okay, they just simply put it off, go back, refresh. Okay, just go back and refresh here. Okay, so if I come here and I choose any image, you can see that this image has a name called JB. Okay, so if I upload it, you can see JB comes here on the screen. So if we put this image, if I put for the first time and I submit, and it goes to the upload folder, and for the second time I upload the same image with the same name, it will replace that image that was already existing in the uploads folder. So we don't want that behavior, and that's why we have to start by we have to generate a unique file name. Okay, but we start by getting the image temporary name. Now when you upload an image in PHP, they give it a temporary name. Okay, they give it a temporary name. And if you remember when we printed out, let me just here print out this. So I'm just going to go here and try to print out. So print R, so that we are going to be understanding more things. So we all know that this one will give us this associative array of the image. Okay, so this one is an associative array of the image. If we check it in the browser right now, upload, so you can see it is an array. First of all, it has this name, it has this one, and one of the things it has is this temporary name. So they give all the files you upload, they give it a temporary name, and we don't use this temporary name. So we first start by getting the temporary name, and you can see it is on this temp name here. Okay, so to get a temporary name, so we start by getting a temporary name. That is the first thing. The second one is we generate a unique file name by using the unique ID function, which uses time. Okay, so we just get a unique ID or unique file name by actually using this the unique ID function. Okay, so then this is done to ensure that the uploaded file has a unique name to prevent overwriting the existing files. Then finally we create the image path where the image can be located. Okay, so this is just like 3 lines of code to do that. The first one is getting the temp name, and the second one is getting creating the name and then the path. Okay, so we can't just jump in, and we first get the temporary name. So here you can just say get generate unique name, unique file name. Okay, file name. So we first get the temporary name. So I'm just going to say here dollar temp name, temporary name. Okay, so the temporary name is located on dollar files. Okay, and on the files we access this image, and on the image we access this temp name. We have seen that in the browser that this is an associative array, and one of the keys it has this temp on it, the temp name. Okay, so this temp name is having our temporary file or the temporary file name. I don't know if I gave it that very name, yeah, temp name. So from there we can generate our unique name. Okay, we can generate the unique name. First is by running this unique ID function. So this unique ID function, it generates a unique string which is based on time. Okay, which is based on time. If I first of all, let's try to printer here. So printer name. So let me try to print out name here. So if you go here, and let me first also take off this one. We can just leave that as simple as that. So let me refresh. Go ahead, and you can see the string is here. Okay, so you see the string is here, and it is a unique string that is going to be concatenated. So we can concatenate this here. We can concatenate this here by using a dot, and we concatenate an underscore. Okay, we concatenate it with an underscore, and then of course we're not going to concatenate this. We are going to concatenate on the, we are not going to put the temp name here. Okay, we know the name of the image, we have seen it, it is under files. Okay, files image, and then is on the name. So here we can get the actual file name. So the actual file name, if you go back here, you see it is here in this name. Remember, this array is the image array. So on this image array, there is one key called name, where the original name of the image is found, and you can see it here. Okay, you can see it here, image name, and that's what we are using here. So we are concatenating. If we now print out the name, okay, let me just first take off this one, and let's print out the name. Just refresh, continue, and you can see now we have a unique string, which is this one, and then we concatenate an underscore jb.png, and that's exactly what we want from this function. Okay, so moving on, we have generated, now we have a temporary name. Okay, we are going to see why we want this temporary name. After getting a temporary name, we generate a unique name. Now from this unique name, we can generate the path. So this path is where the image actually is located. Okay, this is where the image for sure is located. And if I just go ahead, and I could create the path by using here uploads. Okay, and I can concatenate the name. Okay, is it upload slash, and then let's concatenate name $name, as simple as that. Let me see to confirm. Yeah, so we concatenate the name on the uploads, and remember, we are very sure because we checked here that this uploads was created. If it does not exist, it will be created at this point. So right now we can get the path where we want the image. So the image path would look like this. Let's just print it out here. Print out path. Let me just try to print here path, so that you see how the image it will look like. If we now print out here, you can see it will be uploads, that is the folder, stroke the image, okay, which is this string png. Okay, this is what we want. So this one is the path to the actual image after uploading it. Okay, so okay, just go to the next step and we do some checks. So the another one is check for the file size. Okay, so the good thing is that we can actually check the file size that has been uploaded. So to avoid putting excessive or large files, we can check for the file size. Okay, we use still on this array here, and on the image array there is size. Okay, this size key can give us the size of the image. So if the size is greater than 1 MB, And by the way, you can search on internet the size of 1 MB. So you can just come here and you search on internet how many bytes in an MB in a megabyte. Okay, so you can just come here and you see here you can use 1000 just for simplicity. This is 100, is it something 100,000, 1 million. Okay, so you can see an MB is equal to this one for simplicity, but sometimes it is actually this 1024. Okay, so whatever, because as you can know, it is something like this. Okay, 10407 is the real one, and an MB, its actual figure is in here. Let me just go to this blog. I think it is explaining it very well. I'm not going to go in details. You can search about that one, okay, how it comes to be 1048, something like that. Okay, you can just go here in this blog. Someone explained how it comes to that. Okay, it is somewhere here. Okay, so I'm just going to check for the upload. If we go ahead and we check our printer, let's check this image. If we check here on this image, okay, so file image, that array, it contains size. Okay, if you look here, there is where we have size. Okay, and right now it is telling us it is 63 kbs. Okay, it is 63 kbs, so we can find out how many MBs are here. So you can choose to use 1 million if you want, but the actual one is actually here. Okay, the actual MB is this size. It is 1 million 48 something. Okay, this is the actual 1 MB. You can go and search on internet, blah 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 blah. Okay, but the only thing is to just know an MB is equivalent to this one. So now we can just use this one in our equation, and this would look something like this. We first get the image size. After getting it, then we check if the image size is less than an MB, else we give an error. Okay, we can give an error here. So let's just do that. So down here, after generating here the path, let's check for image size. So what I want is someone should upload an image less than 1 MB. Okay, so the first time is to get the image size. So image underscore size size is going to equal to, so we access here these files, this image associative array, and then we access the size. Okay, so if we get this one, I can print it out here. Let me cut this. We can print this image size, so that you see that for any image we upload. So let me just do that. You can see it is 63 here, and this, it has been picked from here. Okay, so this one, if we upload another image, let's get another image like this one, which is bigger. Upload. So you can see here it is getting, this is 1.25 MBs, and you can see it is getting this value here. Okay, so right now we are able to access the image size. So we can just create an if statement. If $image size is greater so what we want, if it is greater than 1 MB, which is something like 10,048,576, that is, if I'm not mistaken, that is the image, the size is 10,48,576. Okay, so if it is greater than that, then we should give an error. Okay, so we say echo, okay, image size should be, you can just give this, should be less than 1 MB. It should be less than 1 MB. So we can't just create that error there. So at this point, if we could create an image error, and we do that, but for now just do a simple echo statement, like echo here, image size should be less than 1. Okay, so now let's just check. So remember, we have here our image size. Let me check. So refresh here. Okay, so you can see here image size should be less than 1, and because 1 MB, and you can see the figure is this. Okay, this figure here is more than 1 MB, and you can see we have our error here. Okay, so that is great. So if it is, so we can't do errors right now, and we do other checks, and we are going to see other checks. So since this is very crucial, we don't want images above this one to be uploaded, so that's why we are doing this check here. If this is like this, it should give this error. Errors, we can continue with other checks. So errors, we can do other checks. Other checks can be done here now. Okay, this is a very important one. Here on top here, we are doing other settings like creating unique names, but here this check is a very crucial one. We don't want this image to be saved if it is greater than 1 MB. So now let's look at other checks we can do. Another one is checking if the uploaded file is an image, really is an image, and then checking for the allowed extensions. So when you're just going to upload an image, you don't just simply allow all images to be of any type. You can specify which file extensions that you want, and then at the same time, you don't want someone, if he uploads a PDF or a Word document, we specifically want a specific file type. Okay, so this is a point where we specify that we really want a specific file type. Okay, so we could get an image type still on the image. If you go back here, you see we have access actually to the type. Okay, this image is of type PNG. You can see image stroke PNG. That is the type of this image. Okay, so we can check for the type of the image that has been uploaded. And how do we check for that? We check image type here, and then we can also create an array of the allowed extensions. Okay, so I can just simply get this here to somehow move faster. So the first thing is, so we are getting the image file type. Okay, so the image file type, we find it on files. Okay, we find it on files, image. This one is the array, associative array, and on the key type. So this one will give us the image type. And then allowed extensions, we just create an array by ourselves. Okay, you can just use an array function to create it, or a user one, the bracket notation, but I chose to use this one. So for instance, I want WebP, I want PNG, I want JPEG, and this is JPG, and this is JPEG. Okay, now how do we get an extension? So these ones are very okay, these two, but then we also want to know the image extension. Okay, so to get the image extension, you use this path info. Okay, and this path info, you path in the name of what you want to check the extension for. Okay, before I put this to lowercase, this str to lower is intended to convert the extension into lowercase. Since we have lowercases in this array here, you see everything, I made it into small letters. So this is intended to convert the result into lowercase. But let's just talk about this path info function. So the path info function takes in two things. One, it takes in the file name where you want to extract the extension, and then you tell it what information, because itself as the path info has a lot of things on it. Has things like to do with image type and other things. but the one we want to extract from it want to extract the path info extension. Okay, so when you pass in like this, it will give us the extension. Okay, so if we go down here, let's try to print out. They just print out print R. Okay, so we are printing this image extension here, $image extension. Want to know this extension, and we are passing this name. If you remember, this name is the name we generated up here, this unique name here. Okay, so if we go ahead and we upload another one that meets the standards, let's upload this one and upload. So you can see that it is telling you it is a PNG. Okay, if we uploaded another one, I don't think I have another one that is not a PNG here, but we would get another file like a WebP. Let me just get a WebP here. So just upload this one, which is smaller. You can see now file type here is WebP. So this one will give us all the extensions we need. So this one, this image, this path info gives us, or it extracts an extension from a given file. Okay, so that is nice. So after getting that, we can now go ahead and do nice stuff. Let me first remove this one. So we can just go ahead and do some nice stuff. Okay, let me push this here and all these ones inside here, so that we have this errors part. Okay, so now what do we want to do now? It is now doing the checks. We can do now the checks like this. So for instance, we can check if the uploaded file is an image and check for the allowed extensions. So first of all, we check if we have two checks. Okay, we have two checks we are doing. Let me write it here. So what are we checking for? We are checking for two things. If the image, so we want to check if the image is of a required file type. Okay, is of, so we want to check if is of required type. Okay, let me just maybe put it here under. So we are checking for two things. The first one, want to check for image type. Okay, not image extension but image type. Okay, and after that we also check for image extension. Okay, want to check for the image extension. Okay, so there are the two checks. So we would write it here. Check, we do if. Okay, we'll do if image type. So since we are doing two checks, I can do something like this. Okay, so the first one, this first bracket here is to check for the image type. Okay, this image type here, image type. So I want to first check for the image type. If the image type, okay, is, for instance, is equal to, the first one was image stroke PNG. So I just go how we have here in the folder. So the first one is WebP, or so we want to check if the image is either WebP. So you can see here, this is check for the required image. So we first check if the image is of type like WebP or is of type PNG. Okay, so we could just go here and we check now PNG. Okay, we go ahead check for another one which is JPEG. So here we do JPEG, and we also put another one which is finally the JPEG or JPEG, just like that. So this one is for checking if really what you have uploaded is an image and is of what we want. Okay, you check it by checking the image type, and you can check the image type here. You see how it looks like here. Type, you can see type here is image stock web page. That's why we are checking it like so. Okay, so if that one is true, we can go ahead and also check for, okay, we can just go ahead and check for if the extension we want exists in this array. Okay, we can check if the extension we want exists in this array using in an array method. So there is this in array, I like this function. So this function will give a boolean. It will give false or true if an item exists in the array. And what do we want to check? Want to check for the image extension. Image extension, if it exists in extensions. Allowed, yes, we called it allowed extensions. If it exists in these allowed extensions, okay, if it does, then we just go ahead and create this. Let me first check if we don't have any errors. And in an array, okay, I think we are good. Okay, I think we are good now. Here, of course, now we can go ahead and move the file into the uploads folder. Okay, so here we can move the file into the uploads folder. Else we can give echo an error. So for instance, we say we can say invalid image. Okay, invalid image, and we can concatenate here. We could just say invalid image should be webp should be of type maybe webp, png, jpeg, and jpeg, like so. So you can't just give an error like that. Unexpected token, there is one excess. So we have this if, and this first block here, the yellow one, must stop somewhere in between here. Let's move slowly up to image type jpeg here. Okay, so from there we should have this one in an array. It has that, and it looks like it should be okay. Okay, it looks like it should be okay. Okay, let me put this one also in another one. Let me see. It's now, I've worsened it now. If I straight save, yeah. So it is now okay. Okay, so we have two checks. We have the checking of if it is of required image type. Okay, and of course you could just check only the extensions. Even if you remove this one, this first checking the image type, even if you removed it, I think it would still work. But you know what, you just you can just first test if really the image is of these types. Okay, if or it is exists or the extension here, the image extension exists in this allowed extensions array. Okay, so after doing that, now we can move the file or the image here. We can move the image into the upload folder. Else we can give an invite. So just try something here. I'm just going to try something. Okay, let me just upload something which is not a PDF, a file, like a Word document. So I'm just going to upload a Word document there. Try to upload. So it should give us something like image should be of type. So you can see image should be of type WebP, PNG, JPEG, and blah blah. So it gives you that error. Okay, it gives you that that error here if you try to upload something that is different. Okay, so this is good. It is giving us this error here, error message. Okay, maybe I should just first remove this here. Let me first try to remove where am I printing? This one. Okay, so let me now try again from submit. Okay, so you see the one we put is docs invite image. That is the first thing. Invite image. Image should be of type WebP, PNG, JPEG, and you can say that is good. So now after doing that test, we can just go ahead. Okay, so invalid image. Image should be of type. Let me just write here very well. Now we can move the image into the uploads. Okay, so that is the next step, I guess. So move the file into the upload folder. So originally the image is put in a temporary location by PHP. So we have to move the image into a permanent location. Use this function called move uploaded file. Okay, so this is a very good function. You move the uploaded file to the target directory using this function. One, it takes in the temporary name to know where the image you are trying to read. That's why we need the temp name in the first place. We use it in the move uploaded file. It first sees where the image is located, and then you also give it the path where it should be taken to. So let's just check that one. By the way, at this point, if you check in our folder, okay, if you check in our folder lesson 9 image upload, you see we have nothing. Okay, the upload folder was created. Even if I delete it right now, okay, it should be this code should be checking every time, and then it creates it. And now we can use that move uploaded. So here I can say now want to move the uploaded file. So it takes in two parameters. One, it takes in the temporary location where the image is located, which is on the temp name, okay, or the temporary location. Now we give it where we want to put it, and we want to put it on the path. Okay, remember the path contains the final location. If you just look at the path here, it is this upload concatenated with the file name. So it will help us move our image there. Okay, it will help us move the image. It takes in the two locations, the temporary location and the permanent location. So if we do that now, let's try our luck. So let me refresh here. Upload, get this image, click it and upload. Okay, so you see here it has given us this one, and we could also just do here, for instance, image uploaded successfully. Let's just echo here, echo this, echo here, image uploaded successfully, like so. So we can just echo that after moving it there. But if we check in the upload folder right now, uploads, we have our image with a unique ID here. Okay, we're able to have this unique ID. Now we can render this image onto we can render this image in the UI here, like on this surface here. Okay, let me just delete it to show you that actually it will always create the image. Okay, so let's test again, and let me remove this PNG thing here on the file type, I guess here, print extension. So let me refresh. Okay, let's choose an image. So I'm choosing this one. Upload, image uploaded successfully. So if we check, in the uploads here, the image is there. That's great. Now what we want is get this image. So at this point here, this is a point we would move it to the database. So here we could now save the image. Here we could save the image to the database. So we save the path. Okay, here we would add this path, image path. We add this image path. Okay, so to get this image path here, the one we have here, we save this image path in the database so that you can pick that image. Okay, so right now let's see how we can render this image. We can render that image. Okay, so you can see step 8, display the uploaded image. So after we have checked all these things, we can now go ahead and upload the image in the HTML. Okay. So one thing, we can first check if the path is set, and then display the uploaded image in the image tag, okay, with the source attribute, and then we can add some small CSS of what we want, like adding a border or sort of stuff. So something like this, okay, we could just come and do that. So I can just go to here, down in here, down here, let me just put below the form. So below the form, we can put something like image. Okay, we can just first put here some PHP to do the if. So I can just do PHP script. Okay, let me just do the PHP script. So the first one is, I want to say if. Okay, if is set. So if is set, and what I want to check if it is set is actually $path. Okay, I want to know if the path exists. Okay, if the path exists, so that I don't get an error. Okay, if the path exists, so by the way, you put one like that, and we can just end the if. Okay, we can end the if here using this one. So this is the trick how you can do the if. So you do here, want to echo the image in between. So we do if, we put here the first bracket, then inside here we can actually put the img. So source should set to be PHP path. So PHP script, PHP just like that. So here we can echo path, echo $path. So this path is the final, the path, we are meaning this path here, telling us where the image is finally uploaded, this path to this image. Okay, so we can put the path there. Of course, we can go ahead and put also style. Okay, we can set, for instance, border radius, a minute, border radius. Okay, we can set this to 50%. Okay, so 50%, like so. And so let's just see, and maybe we could even give it width. Okay, the image, we can give it width. So let's say width maybe 200. Okay, and height also 200. Okay, so let me just now upload. So refresh. Okay, so upload the image, which is this one, and voila. Okay, look at that, image uploaded successfully, and we have our image nicely here. Okay, look at that, and this image now is in the upload. You can see they are not replacing the previous one because of having unique IDs. So they are having unique ID, and that's why they are able to persistently be there. Let's upload another one. I'm just going to upload this lady here. So this this image of this lady, you can see it is 1.17 MB. If I try to upload that one, you see image here, they say image size should be less than 1 MB, and it did not upload that image. Okay, it should not be inserted here. If you check here, that image is not there. Okay, that is great. So let's upload another one. Click on this file upload here. Let's put the one that is less. Let's put a WebP. Let me put a WebP here. Like for this lady, it is now reduced. Click it, upload. Look at that. What just happened? Let's check here if the image is there. The image is there. I think I refreshed. Let me just first go back here. Okay, upload this image. Click upload. So you can see the image is here. Okay, so of course you could just go and give it object fit. Guys, you know how to work on this. CSS wise, you know how to handle this. So you could just go ahead and work on this to not to be stretched, but you can see it is perfectly working. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. At this point, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe so that we make more content. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the description, in the video comment section, or those ones who are in the WhatsApp group, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.